Well, g'day everyone, and welcome to another ramble. It's been a little while since I've done one of these. I think 2 weeks. Just had a bit going on. I had a wedding to attend during the Gold Coast game that weekend of the Gold Coast game, and then after watching that game, I just felt a little bit flat. Actually, probably much like most supporters, felt pretty flat after that game. It was a pretty poor game. Wasn't too many positives to take out of it, so I didn't really want to just make a ramble talking all negatives. And luckily, it's not all negatives today after our round eight win over the Eagles. Um, Nothing special this game, I don't think. We had to win it. We simply had to win it. The first quarter looked pretty shocking. Our skills were terrible. It didn't look like anything was addressed after the Gold Coast game in the first quarter, and maybe for a little bit in the second. Although the second, I think it started to get back on, look a little bit better. But yeah, definitely the second half looked a lot promising, and definitely moments of getting our run and carry and surge going, which was great to see. I haven't seen that in a while. Um, if you watch the show First Crack on Fox, they showed a lot of good footage on that, and it just looked great seeing all that stuff. I'll probably put stuff on the screen now if I can find it, but yeah, it looked really good, and glad to see that. So we ended up winning by 46 points in the end, which, win's a win, but I was really hoping to at least crack the 50 sort of in that fourth quarter. I'm like, come on, let's kick away here. Didn't really happen. They got a late goal, I think, or Williams kicked some sort of late goal, and then sort of seized that momentum a little bit. But anyways, look, 46 points, take it, obviously, and we'll see what that does, because who knows? I mean, we got a tough 2 weeks coming up with Geelong and then Essendon in Dreamtime. Very tough game next week, obviously. So who knows what can happen with that? But on this game, I was impressed. I was impressed with just like a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, it's just West Coast. You just beat West Coast. They're basically going to win the spoon." Blah 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 blah. But okay, it was West Coast, but sometimes you just need that, and just to build some of that confidence back, some of that cohesion back, which we saw a lot of. And it's not like West Coast weren't trying. They're obviously trying to get wins as well. They're probably in a little bit of a similar boat with us to start this year. But it was just great seeing the confidence back up in that, especially in that last half. Bolton back to his absolute best was awesome. He could have ended the day on 5 goals. He got 3 goals too. Taranto probably his best game for the year so far, especially with the goals. It helps getting 30 touches and 2 goals. Still at 50% efficiency that I've seen some complaints on, but my sort of argument to that is he had 20 contested possessions. So if you're getting those contested possessions, you're probably in some tricky situations where you're just getting the ball out. So I might have a look at that a bit closer if I do end up watching any sort of replay or anything. But I didn't really notice too much. But if he had 20 contested possessions, he's probably getting in there and rushing these kicks out, which really I think is what we got him for, to be in that, to get in there, get in the guts and get it out, win the clearances. Doesn't really matter about the efficiency if you're just getting it out. But still, above 50%, you know, it's still good, I think, for the kind of player he is. Hopper as well. So our two recruits had superb games. I think Hopper had what did Hopper have? Hopper had the game high 32 disposals, actually, 62%. So it's good to see that. He was another standout. Prestia was a good standout. He's sort of back. Hopefully he can sustain that. I mean, ideally we would want Hopper and Bolton and Taranto. I mean, Taranto and Hopper have been good all year, in my opinion, but ideally we would want Prestia to stay in this form, and Bolton needs to stay in this form too if we're any chance of getting on a run against the Cats, I think. Um, One little kind of thing that I've noticed the last few weeks, I don't think I've mentioned this yet, but one sort of downside I've noticed is with Rioli, Daniel Rioli. It just seems to me that teams have kind of figured him out. Like earlier in the year, and especially sort of last year and stuff, Um, you would notice him get on a run, go sort of through the wing or the middle or whatever, like just get on a run and go and stuff. Not really noticing that a lot, especially um, sort of the game before. Who did we play? The game before Gold Coast, I think it was that one where just didn't notice him at all, and I'm sort of started noticing it a little bit more. Ended up having an okay game, stats wise and stuff, but sometimes you just sort of notice him get caught out or something, and it seems to me teams have just figured out how to shut him down. Maybe I don't know. It might look a bit closer next week against Geelong and at Dreamtime, but I'm just something I'm sort of putting out there. If anyone else sort of notices what I'm sort of thinking here, where he's not getting on his dangerous runs anymore, where he would take it on and stuff. But I don't know. Just a question I'm putting out there. Little notice I'm putting out there. Whatever. But something I'm going to keep an eye on, because if he can't find that click again, it could be worth trying him up forward. I know that sounds crazy because he's clearly been, you know, revived going to halfback, but sometimes our forward line does look like it's lacking a bit of that goal craft. When Cumberland's playing at his best, he has it. Um, and yeah, there's not really too much else besides Cumberland. That's like a genuine sort of crummer forward. They sent Bolton up there, but he's really good in the midfield too. They sort of, press to kick three, but he's a midfielder. So it's just something I'm sort of thought about. Maybe Ralph Smith can go up there, but I don't think that would be his best spot. Um, and speaking of Ralph Smith, I'm not actually sure where his best position is. Is it a wingman? Was it a halfback? Be an interesting one. He's getting a lot of flack, Ralph Smith, from a lot of fans, but I think he does enough. I think he's trying hard. He's still young. Um, he does butcher it sometimes, but so do a lot of the kids. Clark, good energy from Clark. I loving the energy he brings. He only had 7 touches and 2 goals, but that's really all you want from a small forward as long as he's getting up on the scoreboard. It's good. Samson Ryan had a ripper game. I think 31 hitouts, 2 goals. I think he kicked in the end. How many goals did he kick in the end? Oh, geez, where is he? I've got the list up here. I can't even find him. Oh no, 1 goal. But that's sort of what we're going to expect from Samson. I think just glimpses of what he can be. He's still very young, very raw. I think he's still only played under 7 games, 6, maybe 8 games or something. Um, so yeah, we're keen to see him progress throughout the year and the years to come. Um, yeah, Cumberland, not really sure what happened with him. I don't know if he was injured or not, or if he just got subbed out. But yeah, didn't really notice him too much, which is a little bit of a shame. Hopefully well, if he stays in the side, hopefully he can bounce back. But something tells me he's going to get dropped. He seems to be getting in that position a fair bit. But Cumberland's definitely still a player of the future. Just a poor game, I think. Maybe it's just one of those games. But anyways, other than all that, it was a very good win, and it's good to get back on the winners list. Good to get a win, second win of the season in round 8. Sounds a bit shitty, but it is what it is. We got Geelong next week, and yeah, that's going to be a really really tough one. Geelong have won. What have they won? 5 in a row now. 4 in a row now. I think 5 in a row. They beat the Crows by 26 at GMHBA. No surprise there. It's going to be a real tough game. It's our home game at the G, so hopefully we can get a good home crowd there. Will be great to see. Friday night too, so Friday night, huge game. It'll be a huge test. If we can win that, then honestly, who knows what we can do. Currently got 5 losses, so we don't really want to clock up too many more losses if we are going to do any sort of damage in September. But yeah, who knows? Let me know down below if how confident you are going into the Geelong game, and just all your thoughts on the West Coast game and stuff like that. Yeah, it was just a really good win. It was a really good win, and again, it was just West Coast, but sometimes you just need a win, and you take a win when you can get them, and who knows where this can lead us. So, bit of a quick, snappy ramble for me. I didn't Didn't write any sort of script for this one. I usually write a script for them, but sort of tight on time today, so I just want to get this one out there. And just to put it out there that I haven't given up on these rambles. I just after a couple of weeks not doing them, I just had a fair bit going on. But yeah, I'll try and do these semi regularly. As I'll try and do them as often as I can, and maybe some other stuff. So yeah, thank you very much for listening to this ramble. And again, I'm repeating myself, but yeah, let me know your thoughts and your predictions and just how you think we're going. Thank you very much for listening, and I'm keen to see your comments. I'll catch you in my next one. Bye.